Hello, and welcome to a very special Wyverns and Weirdos one-shot. This is a resumption of the corruption campaign for a very brief moment. Not the only one, but we're here for a very special reason. As you may notice, we are all dressed up. This is the very special Bertie and Caius wedding one. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our players in characters that we have not played in almost a year. So, we have Eddie playing Anya, Joe playing Rook, Jake playing Newman, Zoe playing Ross, Emily playing Sam, and the guests of honor, Laura playing Bertie and Mitch playing Caius. Let's jump into it. The last time we saw our heroes, they were participating in a display match to celebrate the anniversary of the unification of Erethold. We joined them several years later for the preparations on the morning of the marriage of Bertolt Wyvern and Caius Viator Silvius, both of whom have exceedingly long titles that we hope that they don't botch during their vows. So, where we start off, Bertie, you are, I assume, in the back room of your boutique, being attended to by a variety of stylists, preparing you for the wedding, and there's one person who is not dedicating their time to getting you ready. A reporter for the one of the local gossip rags, who offered the highest bid, and of course, you being you, gave them exclusive rights to the interview.
How could I resist?
Yes, one Torval Gaunt, a half-elven man, and he and the retail staff are out the front of your flagship store as you are being seen to. So Torval says to you, "Now, our listeners heard about how it's been such a long journey to where you are today. A real fairy tale rags to riches sort of story. But you have a pretty famous party in attendance. Who are the lucky few close to you on the main day?"
And so Bertie sort of like settles back, much to the annoyance of the rest of the attendants who are trying to still do his hair, quite grandly, and he's a very animated little guy. For those who don't know Bertie is an 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. He's currently spring, so he is sort of pink personified, not in sort of like a princessy way, although he could almost be on this day, but in like a show business, like the most glittered up glam sort of show business guy. He's a fairly short 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. He's got, in the past, he's had sort of like longer pink hair. It's actually quite a little bit shorter than it used to be. And it's currently sort of halfway through being sort of coiffed up. But yeah, he has very long sort of expressive ears that sort of twitch while he's moving as well. He's already got a lot of glitter all over him. There's probably going to be a lot more as it goes. And yeah, he is sort of, as the reporter has mentioned, Bertie has come from sort of more humble, maybe perhaps even snake oil salesman sort of beginnings, but he is now a legitimate businessman. He has a lot of money to his name, and he is luxuriating in this lifestyle, this attention, and what's going to be soon his like most important day in his entire life. So he sort of like spreads his arms out, and the person doing his nails kind of just like grunts to herself, and then sort of just tries, but gets like some more nail wipes to correct it. And he goes, "Okay, well, thank you so much again. I've really been enjoying this sort of little chat before my big day. But what do I enjoy even more than talking about myself? Of course, it's talking about my friends. So, for the listeners, first off, we have Anya. She's a skilled archer, an elf sort of like me, but in a different kind of persuasion, and not so flowery, as you can see. And she's the founder of the IRMPA. It's an anti-corruption watchdog kind of agency with reach across the land and the Isles. When we first met, I was kind of afraid of her, and now everyone else gets to be afraid of her too. She sometimes uses an invention from our friend Newman to assist her in seeing some of the time, but most of the time, she's got the best ears on her side of the land, so she can pretty much echolocate her way around. So I am pretty excited. She's actually going to be giving me away at the wedding since, well, I've had a pretty complicated family history. I do have adoptive family. They are actually coming. My two dads who brought me up after I was rather cruelly abandoned by my biological parents. But, you know, that's the bonus of being here. If I'd spent my whole life in the Feywilds, yes, it's a whimsical, wonderful land that is truly beyond most people's comprehension. And wow, yeah, I basically only ever met like 2 other Eladrins in my entire lifetime, and I am over 200. But you know, I would have never met these people. I would have never met the love of my life. So, well, that's it. Anya's giving me away, which is a really great choice, I think, personally. So next up, we have Newman. He's a tabaxi from Karas. He's super tall, like freakishly tall. Like, compared to me, he's probably like 3 meters tall at least. Kind of got like ginger fur and all that. He was kind of the main drive, along with our friends Ross and Rook, along with the rest of us, but kind of they get the main say in it, to help with the resistance effort, which kind of eventually overthrew the invading rulers of Karas and brought it back to it. So any further information is government classified, and I cannot speak any further on that, I'm afraid. But I can tell you that Newman himself is pretty much the smartest person I know, and has created about a bajillion inventions, and also loves romance novels, so he must be really excited at the moment, is all I can say. He's actually going to be Caius' best man, so yeah, pretty jazzed about that. He actually also helped me fine-tune Caius' ring as well. So, yeah, he's just pretty much a really clever dude. Next up, we have Rook. She's a fire genasi also from Karas. And she has kind of the biggest muscles you'll ever see on anyone, and that's including my fiance, who I am very biased towards. He would also agree, so I can legally say that. She used to make a living as a mercenary, like a lot of us do in this land. But since she's kind of put more time into making her life better and has been kind of writing self-help books and doing a bunch of other little stuff for herself, and also working on reigniting her culture, which was kind of decimated by the invading rulers of Karas, who are now gone, so there we go. Also, Rook and Anya are totally GFs, which is, yeah, really cool. It's actually super funny. I mentioned this before, but back in the day, Newman was really psyched to get them together and get married. And, like, I kind of think they're just comfortable as they are. I don't know, maybe they'll get married one day. But, like, Newman actually, like, built these little, like, bracelets that they have, which can actually turn into wedding rings. But, like, I think it's just kind of, like, nice rings for them anyway. It was a beautiful friend gesture, but Newman just is really excited about love and stuff like that. But anyway, the really funny thing is, when that happened, he was kind of testing it out. It was a little secret. Caius and I actually helped with that, and Newman got us to try on the rings. So it was actually really easy to sort of guess ring sizes, because I don't know, it's just funny how that kind of stuff happens. We didn't even know we liked each other at that point. Well, I mean, I liked him, but you know. Anyway, Newman loves romance stuff. And so do all of your readers, so it's fine. Anyway, that's Rook. So like, we also have Ross, which is her theater name, which she still kind of uses like her real name, but she also sometimes is called her birth name, Rivari. It's complicated. It's kind of more of a thing of like, how close are you to her? How personal is it her stage presence, you know? just basically ask her what she wants to be called first. Ross is from Karas, and she's a highly trained and skilled actor, busker, street performer, and bard who uses a magical tambourine most of the time. She is part of an action troupe called the Players of the Shining Stream, who was super oppressed by the original rulers, and she also still lives with them actually, and would kind of protect them with her life. They're kind of her other besties. Isn't that weird, like having so many besties? Yeah, she also owns a theater in Karas and used to be part of the resistance there, but now she's my maid of honor, which I'm not gonna be egotistical and say that's the most important job she's ever done, but it must be pretty close, right? And then, yeah, so then we've also kind of got Sam. Sam is Russ's, sometimes he's a boyfriend, sometimes he's not. I think right now they're taking a break, if you know what I mean. It's nothing too serious, I think. They just need to kind of work on who they are alone as well as together. They might actually be together by the time we're at the wedding. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, and that's their gossip. Sam was also kind of a spy. It's kind of also like Ross's childhood, university friend, had a crush on her for ages. Very funny and embarrassing, but really cute too. They're really nice together when they they both got a lot to unpack, and Sam super has a lot to unpack. He was kind of a spy and also a double agent, but he kind of pulled through for us in the end. So yeah, he's also coming as part of the party. So yeah, pretty exciting. I have also invited my daughter. She's from a past relationship. But yeah, she's really cozy with me and Caius as well, so it's gonna be great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have any final questions for my wonderful listeners? Readers, I mean, of course. We don't have television yet.
As our closer, how did you and Lord Sir Caius wear to Sylvius?
And Bertie kind of claps his hands together, moves forward about 3 attendants to try wrestle them back together, and then sort of puff of vicious sort of moves out. He's like, huh. Well, I mean, I've told the story a few times, but, Caius and I kind of first met in the Dwarven city of Krostigar, underground. I was kind of there on a mission, by some government stuff, can't talk about it. And Caius was there on his own kind of mission, a personal one, I guess. We first sort of met when he, actually flung himself out of a window and into our teleportation circle. And, I guess you can say we pretty much hit it off right away. All I knew about him was that he was from Durham, had a pedigree, and a horse named Fredwood because he and one of his 8 half-elf sisters couldn't decide between Fred and Edward. Caius was on a quest to do good, probably, I guess, and still is. Super shiny, super dashing, and super rich. Huge fan. Not just because I was working on a working-class entrepreneur man at the time, but, we hit it off pretty well. We also tell the same kinds of jokes. We're pretty funny. So anyway, we kind of crossed paths, organized some fights, got out scrapes, and then Caius got called home. After I told him magic, since we're both magic men, and 2 magic men are better than 1, am I right? Some personal stuff happened with Caius that I won't go into. I'm sure most of Durham knows about it anyway. But after that, we crossed paths again when we were both in a pretty dark place, I guess you could say. And I went to help him out, and it turns out he helped me out too, along with my friends, of course, but it's a little bit different when it's, Also, all the rumors of me being involved in the accidental summoning of an eldritch demigod that inflicted us both with a temporary death curse are all greatly exaggerated. Although we did kill one in Durham, as all the lovely people of Durham would know. Zorthlin Tathara was slain by all of us, but Caius and I got the last blow in. Which, but yeah, I mean, in the end, we found a way to fix everything, and then we found each other. And both of us have been in relationships before, you see, and both of us have been hurt. And I wasn't really expecting it. I don't think he was either, but we did it. And now we're having a super cool, stinking rich wedding! I'm gonna get married! I never thought I was gonna get married. Boy, oh boy, the longest relationship I'd had was 3 months. We've been together for years already. Yeah, so technically that means it's forever, right? But I hope it is. Anyway, so I tell your readers, there's someone out there for you to help you be your best self, to give you the space to grow towards the sun again. Even if it's yourself. We just have to find it in each other.
That is a wonderful closing remark.
I know, right?
Thank you. Alright. Caius, where do we see you in preparations for the wedding?
So I think the morning of, or like in the couple of weeks beforehand, he's getting progressively more and more nervous. Not quite panicked, but definitely nervous. And the morning of the wedding, as everyone is trying to get him into his formal attire, Caius is strolling amongst the grounds, or not quite strolling. It's strolling for Caius. Everyone else, he is walking with definite purpose, as he's making sure that everything is in the right place. It's all, the scenery is perfect. He's got, his pants on and half of his shirt, and like 4 people are running around after him trying to help him button it up, as he's just kind of directing traffic. No one needs that because everything is planned to perfection, but that is where Caius is. It's also not a particularly warm morning, and Caius is in himself quite fit, but he does find himself sweating a lot, and that is but another concerning factor to add to the growing list in Caius's mind.
Rook and Anya, what are your preparations as Anya has a bit more direct involvement in the wedding party than Rook does, but as a couple, I imagine you are probably getting ready in proximity to each other, at the very least.
I think, knowing that both Rook and Anya are bizarrely morning people, I think they were both up and getting ready, at least to some extent, together in the morning. They probably, knowing both of them, got in a training session with each other.
Absolutely.
Towards dawn. And Anya, she would have stuck around for breakfast and for getting certain elements of her outfit ready for the wedding, before she, giving Rook a kiss on the cheek, snuck off to go assist behind the scenes, which Rook in particular would be very aware that Anya has been almost a shadow Ross, in where Ross, being maid of honor, would be making things run smoothly in whichever way Ross does that. And Anya would then quite privately and quite quietly be enforcing that things go even more smoothly, be that by threat or just by getting it done herself very sneakily. So that would be Anya.
Fantastic. I think Rook would just be like trying to make herself helpful, be like, any heavy lifting need done, I'm your gal. Just trying to help out with whatever she can. Excuse me. I think she would also be, she's had less like direct involvement with like being like a mercenary or doing adventuring and stuff. She's been like working on a new book at the moment, so she's been trying to delegate to some of her other members of a mercenary troop that she's created. So she's kind of like on the sending stone every now and then, kind of just being like, it's all right, you can apologies, I have a cold. Oh hey, no Harris, it's okay. Tell the noble that we've got the documents. We're allowed in his lands, okay? And if he's got a problem with that, he can come to me. But also, can you remind him that, like, he hired you in the first place? All right. Now, I know you got this, okay? So I'm gonna try to help out with the wedding, but You got this, all right? Confidence. And then she's just gonna keep going and just like, oof, try to help out with like, yeah, all right, see what I can move around, check on Anya.
Yeah, I almost think, in a way, Rook and Anya, while they keep circulating back to each other in a way that almost poetically they always tend to do. Like in their private lives, Anya has been setting up Ermpa, and she's been basically circulating on and off between adventuring with Rook and living with Rook and setting up her organization. So it's been a bit of a fly in, fly out, or teleport in, teleport out business. But in a very similar way today, and especially this morning, they're dividing and conquering, where they do keep meeting back with each other and seeing each other, but it almost would be where Anya is sneakily doing things from, I guess, Bertie's side of things, or the things that Bertie would have organized, where the heavy moving and the setup, and I think some of the things that Caius might need help on his end, Rook may be circulating around there, and every now and then Rook and Anya are just like meeting back up and checking in a little bit, like, so how is he? Is he nervous? Do I have to go have a talk to him? If he pulls out today, I am going to lose everything. The world will blow up.
Oh man, I don't think he's gonna pull out, because he thinks if anything goes wrong today, the world's gonna end pretty much. I mean, like, he's not having any second thoughts, but oh boy, is he nervous.
Okay, well,
yours is doing okay?
I think so. I have been avoiding checking in on him, as I know it's weird because I'm not marrying him, but it's with giving him away, I feel like it's bad luck until... How's, I've been running around on rooftops, which I know, but, how's the hair? Is it still... And, Anya's hair, for the first time in this podcast, actually, is completely out. So she has, type 3B hair. She's hasn't completely gotten ready, but she has mostly gotten partially ready, and part of that is that her hair is out and is long, and aside from having a few things pinned back, is completely free. And something that is probably of note is that there are pink carnations and yellow roses in her hair.
Rook kind of just like tenderly just like kind of moves a few flowers, just tenderly like a vague little like look over with her hands, is like, now you're looking perfect.
Perfect.
You wear your hair out more often. Looks nice.
Yes, but it gets in the way of activities.
You know what? I really get that, yeah. And Rook herself
it's the
has
lifestyle.
hair braided at the sides, and then it's a bit shorter up top now, so the flames aren't quite as long, so they're a little bit more easier to keep out of the way. Yeah.
I think probably at that moment, Anya does get, and I don't think it's to her, but Anya's just on the channel of the setup stuff, which I think she probably got Newman to hack her into. I don't think she's technically meant to be on the setup stuff channel, on the sending stones, sorry. But she kind of touches the sending stone, or the sending earring at her ear, and she's like, okay, shit, Rivari is about to lose it at someone. I will, I'll catch up with you soon, okay?
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
And Anya kind of leans forward and gives Rook a peg, like just on the bone of her cheek, and then in almost a blink, in a very Anya-like fashion, she disappears.
Rook kind of just like watches her leave, kind of like, yeah, smiling tenderly, and then she'll just return back to seeing, like, all right, what can I help with? What needs moved?
All right. As she's mentioned, Ross, how are your bridesmaid or maid of honor going, and morning of preparations?
Well, so it's been kind of, we've been implying it a lot, but Caius has had the majority of the hand in organizing this wedding in a lot of ways. So it is less that Ross has been like helping organize things and more just helping Caius and Bertie enact their vision. And a lot of that has been especially like just talking to Bertie, helping him get ready. She's been spending a lot of time with Bertie lately. And especially this morning, she's got her hair up in rollers, which is very funny because she already has naturally curly hair. But this is different. And she's got like just some casual slacks on, the dress is hanging up in a little garment bag in like one of the rooms before we all get ready, and she's like just wearing a casual outfit. She's wearing one of those I'm with the groom pins that's covered in like little flowers and like ribbons and such. And she's just been, just walking around making sure everything's okay. She's checking in with Bertie on the earrings occasionally. She probably sees Caius running around with no shirt on, and that is probably what people think Ross is about to lose her mind at, because what the people preparing would have heard is just her going, oh, shit, and she just starts scurrying off with like a little mince, and they're like, oh no, someone's in trouble, but they're... So she kind of, as Mitch said, Caius is keeping a leisurely pace for Caius, which for Ross is like a jog. And she kind of just tries to catch up with him. And she just goes, well, good morning there, lover boy.
Well, yes, hello.
You good there?
Yes, absolutely, but I just I saw from the window that, that marquee just needs to be a little bit more over to the left.
Do you need me to get Rook to do it?
Oh no, it's fine, I'm already halfway there. I'm more than happy to, sort it out. What are you up to? It's hot.
It's not.
Well...
Several members of your family paid druids to make sure it wasn't a hot day, Caius, so, are you okay?
I think I am incredibly nervous.
That's fair. It means you're excited.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. I know that face. Sit down for a second, buddy. Come on. She, guides him over to a bench and, sits him down.
Oh.
What's happening in that noggin there? What's going on?
I just want to... there's so much that's left to do. I want everything to be perfect. I want it all to...
Well, it's pretty perfect, and we still have a couple of hours.
Just want everything to go well.
It will.
I think we've invited so many people from everywhere, and I've tried to do everything that I can to make sure that they all get along, but I just want everyone to see Bertie the way that I do.
Caius, heart-rendingly sweet, but you, and she kind of puts both hands on the side of his face, are not in this alone. There's a reason I'm the maid of honor. There's a reason Newman is your best man. We do a lot of talking, and we're very good at making sure people get along. You have done absolutely everything you can, beginning and ending with loving Bertie. That's all you need today.
Okay. How's Bertie doing?
Resplendent. He spent the whole morning with a bunch of paps, and he looks absolutely stunning.
Good.
Come on, Jim.
Meanwhile, Newman, as the best man, what last-minute duties are you attending?
So Newman is full front and center in the seating area, actually. It won't be hard to find him. He's wearing quite bright, colourful clothes. He's wearing suspenders On below that is a long sleeve, but with the cuffs tucked up to his elbow, a blue shirt. I guess you could call it Caius blue. And then on his pants, they have kind of like an accent down the side. They're suit pants, however, the accent down the side is like a Bertie purple, as you would, with lots of glitter. Another reason you can find him very easily is he is shouting at the top of his lungs. Where is Zoot? I haven't seen him for so long. He's meant to be bringing me my speech. And you over there, as he storms over towards the eating area, this should be French violet. All right? French violet. This is obviously just Eminence purple. French violet. Please go back, get some other copies, all right? If you need some help, I'll come with you, just not right now. As he storms off. And he'll go underneath one of the pergolas, not too far from where Caius is hanging out. And you can see him kind of looking around. I don't know, it's not that he's kind of stressing, it's just that he's being quite impatient at the moment. So he's got his arms crossed, his foot tapping, looking around. And he says, no, this isn't right. No, Caius wouldn't like this. No, this should be moved a little bit to the left. You, over here, yes, move this over to the left just a little bit, okay? Not too much. I'll be back to check, all right? This has to be, and he, like, grabs them by the shoulders. Not threateningly, but kind of assertively. It has to be perfect. I'm not sure if you know, but Caius is probably freaking out right now, and it has to be perfect. And then after his little rampage around, he'll sit down and take a bit of a break. As probably at this point, Zoot enters, carrying a whole bunch of papers. So he'll fly in and kind of fly above Newman and drop them into his lap. Oh, finally! Thank you so much, Zoot. As he like picks up his papers. Zoot, now you know. When I asked for the speech, I did specify I wanted the 10th revision, and you giving me the 9th. It'll have to do. Don't worry, Zoot. It's good enough. It's good enough. I just hope they'll like it. I hope it has the pizzazz it needs. Maybe I could... Oh, maybe if I can find Rivari, I can get her to go through it. Not too sure, Doesn't matter. I've got more important things to do. Is Bertie around? And he'll look around for Bertie.
Bertie has kind of like, by this point, probably like snuck in. Is just kind of like peeking his head around like little like pillars. He's again still wearing like the little like silk sort of like gown over like. It looks like he's kind of like wearing like these high heels because he's a little bit taller than he normally is. But Bertie wears heels pretty much all the time. And he's kind of just like peeking his head around like sort of like pillar, sort of like And sort of like as he does, like every time he turns, any of the flowers near him kind of just like bloom like a little bit brighter and like kind of turn towards him, which you think is pretty like, your big brain is kind of figure out that's pretty normal for Fae. But like, especially when Bertie is so high energy and as he is, and he's even sort of like shedding a couple of like this little like rain of little petals as he's kind of like looking around, and he sort of probably you spot him before he does, and he sort of just very slowly like turns and like looks at you wide-eyed, and it's like, oh,
Bertie.
Hi, Newman. Oh, wow, what things are looking good. Wow, how are you going?
I'm not sure if you believe it, but doing very well, very well indeed. You haven't heard me or anything.
No, I didn't hear any yelling or anything. Yeah. It was fine.
Honestly, things are going great out there. Honestly,
good, perfect.
Today's gonna be amazing.
It will be, won't it? It's gonna be good, right? They're not like nothing bad's gonna happen. They're not like no one's gonna laugh at me or anything like that. Like, you know, like Caius is fine, isn't he? You've seen him, right?
Not yet, but I could imagine how he looks. Very sweaty, I'd say. Incredibly sweaty.
Well,
you know how he stresses.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, no, that's why, like, I mean, you know, like sometimes, like, I know some of like your little like fantasy, like your little romance novels, like sometimes it's like like the bride and the groom can't see each other. Like, well, obviously, like Caius and I figured it out because we're both men. we can just see each other whenever. But like, I haven't kind of like wanted to see him yet because I also know he's stressed and he's been doing a lot of work. Like, I kind of imagined, because I'm the business guy, I'd be the one doing everything. But like, again, Caius is a noble, and like, there's going to be a lot of really important people here. I don't want to fuck everything up. I mean, heck everything up. Yeah. So like, yeah, no, but I'm doing great. I hope he's not too nervous. We were going to meet up just before the wedding, so that's going to be good. So hopefully we can. I've got a lot of anti-sweat wipes. We can sort that out.
Bertie, breaths.
Yeah.
Breaths. All right, with me. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, you got this. All right. Now.
Yes.
All right.
No, you're right.
Look at me. Look at me. Up high, as he gestures a high five. Down low.
I can't reach that high. But yeah, okay, down low.
Down low.
Yep.
And
I
look
can do
at
that.
you go. That's my saying for the day, all right? Now, look,
Pretty good.
to answer some of your concerns, all right? As he flicks through the very short speech that he has. Look, I've actually planned for about approximately 7.5 laughs from the audience during my speech alone, none of which are aimed at you. 100%. None of them aimed at you.
Good. That's great. Well, it's okay. I mean, I love a good self-deprecating joke, so I wouldn't be opposed, but that does put my mind at ease. Excellent. Great. I'm sure they'll love you.
I will do everything in my power to make this the perfect wedding, and I hope that instills some confidence in you. You've known me for a while, Bertie. You know what I can do, all right?
Yeah, of course. Like, look, Newman, I am quite, like, this is like the biggest, like, sale day in my life, because it's like also like a love thing as well. But like, I'm pretty confident that if anyone's gonna make it go perfectly, it's gonna be you, because you, like, everything you do is insanely overcomplicated and usually very chaotic, but you get there in the end and everyone loves it. So like, I gotta trust the process, right?
Exactly.
Yes, big
Exactly.
thumbs up.
So just trust me, okay?
Of course.
All right. Now, I want you to get a little bit, loosey-goosey, all right?
Oh, okay.
I didn't come here to get you all stiff, to
Yeah,
get you
no.
all flustered. So loosey-goosey, this is your special day, all right?
Yeah.
Take it all in. Enjoy the moment.
Cocktail first. That's a good idea. Good suggestion.
Hang on. 3, 2, 1. As some of the staff that Newman organised to come in with cocktails enter the room.
Newman, oh my goodness. The day couldn't get any better. I mean, it can because I'm gonna marry Caius, but like, the Caius, but like, this is pretty damn good. It kind of
All right.
scurries over. And he grabs
Newman is
his favorite fantasy Cosmo.
Newman then kind of bows and ducks out, and then once he knows he's far enough, he'll yell out, "It's meant to be a lotus fold! Lotus! This is not Lotus! And where's my Congo guy?"
Newman, Anya, on the channel. Can you hear me? Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Yes, roger that.
Please stop making the staff cry. It is not helpful or conductive to anyone involved. The more crying they are doing, the less work they are doing. Try to add like a please or something, or just a good job somewhere, please, if that's okay.
Got it. No, you are right. Anya, you're always right.
I wouldn't go that far. How's
And really quickly, Newman will kind of get off the line and just say to the person who was yelling at it, "Thank you. You did a really good job not doing what I asked. But that's okay. We're here to help. And honestly, what you've done so far has been really good, but there's always room for improvement. So, now, I'm going to be talking on the phone, but just watch what I do and do the same." As he gets back on the line. You were saying, Anya?
All right. Finally, Sam, what are your preparations? this morning. Probably a lot more relaxed than anyone else's, I imagine.
Maybe. See, Sam started the day helping Newman out, but Newman is just the wedding planner from hell and has already made Sam cry along with the rest of the staff because Sam is very emotionally fragile right now. So he has disappeared off to wherever the catering is being prepared. He's already fully dressed. He's in a red suit with a white silk shirt, unbuttoned a little bit, and is just sitting in a corner of the kitchen, sipping on the cocktails, trying to hide from Newman.
Having fun over there, Sam? What are you doing? Like, you're really hoeing into those, says Bertie as he's surreptitiously scuttling in also with an empty glass.
They're pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good? That's good. Now, just a quick question. You and Ross, what's going on today? I haven't had the chance to like touch base with her. You guys are still taking a break? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, but you're gonna still be comfortable if like you're sitting next to each other. Like that's all gonna be fun.
We're still sitting next to each other.
I mean, I can get that changed.
No,
It's
fine. It's
schedule, so no.
It's fine. It's totally we're great.
Yeah.
We're
No, and he looks Sam up and down. Yeah, no, seems to be going really fun. No, that's good. Excellent. Well, I mean, if you need a pep talk, just go find Newman. He'll cheer you up. It'll be great. You guys are like buddies, and like obviously, you and guys get along fairly well these days, so that's good.
Yeah, Newman's great.
Good.
Great. Doing great things. He's really making sure that the things are going really well.
Cool. Okay. Well, that sounds great. Maybe what you can do is just like, grab like a couple of drinks, and then just go and just like have a little sit down somewhere. Just have a little rest. I've been there. I know what it feels like. I have been a catastrophic alcoholic for a long time. But not that I'm saying that's what you are, but like, I do also know when you're a little bit sad, sometimes it hits. Anyway, I'm just gonna grab this. And he grabs another drink and then just kind of like scurries off, like almost kind of in a way where he's like being like, oh, I've not checked in with Sam. Now I'm gonna scurry off again because like he's obviously going through it. Just like leaving this puff of like petals in the background in his wake.
Sam just sort of looks dejectedly down and then gets up to go and find Newman.
Okay. Just before going to the venue, I believe there was Bertie and Caius, something that you to do together.
Oh, yes. So Bertie has asked Caius if they can visit a very special place before we head over to the venue. So Bertie is kind of waiting in a place where he and Caius have visited quite often since they were closer friends in Durham. It's very important, so he's kind of like waiting very nervously, sort of like under like a big like oak tree that's sort of like those oak trees that line sort of the entryway to there. He's kind of stippled his fingers together. He's got like hair like pinned up like sort of like tightly around his hair. It's got like one flower in there, but it obviously like he's almost got like a little like bag of like obviously what he's going to change into as he hurries off to the venue as well. And he's like obviously wearing some kind of like fluffy sort of like gown under like the dressing, like the silk gown he's wearing, but otherwise he's just sort of waiting there a little like nervously, just kind of like looking around, look twitchily, his ears sort of like swiveling around in every which way as he sort of just waits to see if Caius will come.
It probably takes a little moment, but Caius does almost sheepishly come over. He's sort of not quite like dressed or anything. He looks fancy, but he's not in like his wedding outfit or anything.
Hey.
Oh,
wow, you look great.
I mean, I'm standing next to you. I can't be.
Oh, Caius, we're both very attractive people.
That's very true.
Yeah, but you look really great. I really, yeah. I like Bertie almost kind of looks a bit flustered now. And he kind of like looks around, just sort of like fiddles his hair a little bit and kind of like wrings his hands. He's like, thanks for coming. I thought this would be a nice little thing. I know we've got like a little placeholder for him, but since we've visited here so often, I thought it'd be a nice thing to kind of check in before the big moment. I can't wait for you to see my dress as well. It's pretty expensive, and also, yeah, I know we kind of discussed a lot of like, oh well, I talked a lot about different ideas, and I was thinking about a suit and stuff like that, and then I kind of, yeah, I thought I'd sort of embrace being a fae a little bit more, so I hope you like it. But for now, and he kind of like fumbles in like the big little bag that he's got to his side and like pulls out a little bouquet. He's like, got some flowers. Did you want to go in?
I would love to.
And Bertie kind of like takes a little hand out and then like very easily slides it into Caius's hand, and they walk into this building, which I guess, like, Mitch, could you describe this place again?
Yeah.
Important place for Caius.
So, the mausoleum, essentially, as you walk in, is decorated on either side by these very elaborate statues and memorials to the Caius, or to the Silvius family legacy, and each one is ordained with their own unique style. It seems like no expense has been spared on capturing each person's true nature. And as we move further and further down this line, we finally get to the end of the tombs, but not quite the end of the hallway, as we turn and look at this visage of Caius's father, Felix.
But he kind of like looks up and then looks at Caius and then kind of like slips his hand out of Caius's, or gives his like hand a squeeze, and then like slips his hand out of Caius's, and then like puts a little bouquet down in front of the little like effigy of like Felix Silvius. And then Caius steps back and he's like, "Hey there, Papa Silvius. I'm so happy to be here with your son today. He's accomplished so much. I wish you could see it. Like, I mean, we've got like a little night school with lots of happy little kids. They're really excited every day to go there. Kids from all around, no matter what background they have, they've got a place to be. He's sponsored orphanages. There's children now who have homes, who have lives, who have educations because of him. He's still so dedicated to his family. The rest of your daughters, your wife. Caius always finds time for them. He has his own house as well, one that he's built. A wonderful garden, the most wonderful garden you could ever see. And I'm so proud to be part of his life, and I wish you could be here for this, because today we're going to get married. And I love Caius very, very much. And we've come visiting here all the time since you passed away. I wish I could have met you when you were alive, actually. That would have been pretty awesome, but your son's pretty damn great, so I think you'd be pretty proud of him, because I know I am. So, just thought we'd pop in for you, and Caius has saved a seat for you. So, if you feel like popping in and watching the show, should be pretty great. But either way, thank you for being in his life. I love Caius very, very much, and I'm really looking forward to being his husband. So, thank you, Papa Silvius. And he kind of like bows his little head, and then steps back next to Caius and kind of slips his hand back into his for a moment. He kind of regards it.
Caius will give Bertie's hand a little bit of a squeeze, and is quiet for a little bit. Hello, Dad. I just thought you should know that I made it. I found what I want. Thank you for your guidance and your many lessons.
Do you have Cinder knocked on you?
He would, yes.
You feel a projection of warmth, a feeling of warmth, like emotional warmth, not heat warmth, projected from the sword.
Have you, Dad? And Caius will step back.
So,
Okay, showtime, big fella. Thanks for doing this. I thought this was really good. And Bertie kind of like sort of walks with Caius outside and like, all right, well, and Bertie like looks over to where Mulesley, his pet mule, his best buddy in the whole world, is kind of waiting, has a little flower crown on, looking like a mule. And it's like, well, my ride's here, so I guess I'll catch you at the venue.
Okay,
See you later, handsome. Wink.
Oh, yes.
He winks with both eyes. Oh, no, sorry. You won't.
No, I just forgot something back there, but I will see you later on.
Oh, okay. I'll see you soon. You better not stand me up. He scuttles over to Mulesley, sweating petals everywhere.
Caius is going to very quickly run back down into the mausoleum, go up to the third last tomb where his great-grandfather is, give him a little fist bump on the statue, and then run back out again.
alright. So, yeah, you make your way towards the gardens of Dorum, set out as they have been for the wedding. As you enter the venue, Caius, there is a messenger who hands you a sealed letter that smells faintly of the sea breeze. It is sealed with an R and addressed from somewhere called Catathir in the Aeolic Isles.
So,
You're under no obligation to read it now if you do not desire to, but you may if you want.
we are going to look at that, go to pop the seal, and then put it in a pocket.
Okay.
That is for later.
Alright. So you enter the area set up for the wedding. Yeah, the blossoms in the trees are blowing in the wind as timed, mostly, with a bit of magical assistance from a number of druids. There is a pathway winding through the gardens, which rounds a corner, revealing a large open grass area, which is where the blossoms seem to be at their... there are white chairs set up on either side of the aisle, which stretch to the platform where the two of you will be married. Behind the platform towers a beautiful ring of flowers and vines that twist amongst one another as if supporting the path. Now, who... Because I believe this was the one detail we missed in solidifying. Was there anyone in particular that you envisioned marrying the two? If you have no ideas yourself, I have a pitch. I defer to you two as the characters.
I'm not certain, to be honest. I would assume initially it would just, like, Caius's first thought would be a very well-respected member of Dorum, potentially someone involved in the like the selection of the knights or something or other, or a respected religious figure or something.
Well,
But yeah, Caius is more than happy to
Yeah.
defer.
my suggestion, which goes off of that a bit, is someone who also has a personal connect with the part, Athena.
Bertie be down for that.
There's no objections from Caius.
Okay. So, Athena...
Describe Athena for us. What
Yes.
feet is she rocking?
Yes, Athena is
a
in...
character from our past adventures. Ooh.
Athena is in a purple dress. Actually, probably the same tone as Newman was shouting about before, but quite a few shades darker. Almost black, with a shock of her usual yellow hair. And she's She's wearing a nice, tasteful silver neck and carries her arcane staff, the symbol of Orphan. And as you approach Caius, he places it gently amongst the vines. So, you ready for this?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Outside the venue, as all the guests and the rest of the wedding party filter in to the main wedding area, Anya and Bertie, you stand waiting for the final walk of the, I guess, de facto bride of the scenario of the wedding.
Bertie is kind of like wringing his hands together. I will quickly describe as well. So, he's completely ready to walk down the aisle. He has sort of wearing like this very, like, as he said to Caius, he is wearing something that would be a lot more classic to like a fae in the Feywild. Although it's sort of like more muted colors, because Bertie is very tacky normally in the sorts of clothes that he likes to wear. He likes very bright colors and bold patterns and stuff like that. But this is kind of more like understated for Bertie, I suppose. He has like, it's almost this sort of like deep pinks and purples and blues is the general kind of theme. His hair is not fully out, it's all like curled and stuff like that. Bright pink, long fades, looks sort of like dusted a bit of pink, glitter everywhere. He seems to sort of have like this sort of big crown arrangement of different flowers, hyacinths and Arcani smiles, and like different flowers that are very meaningful to him. For people that don't remember as well, or are new listeners, Bertie also has on his, I believe, on his right arm, he has this sort of like long scar that sort of runs up along the middle forearm part of it. But on his left arm, he has almost like a complete sleeve of different tattoos interspersed across there, sort of like some little flowers down the wrist that kind of flow up into the different eyes, and more sorts of flowers which are very clearly represented without his dress as well. And then this sort of like long sort of tree that seems to be sort of stretching up across his shoulder and across his collarbone as well. But yeah, and but the whole dress is like very flowy, lots of like light materials. There's like little like velvet and like sort of like beads and flowers and like lots of little details. There has also very notably been like flowers all along the neckline. There are also butterflies that Bertie has, or Bertie and Caius probably have like paid a bunch of druids to sort of like tell to just hang around him at all times. So they kind of just like fluttering around in his general orbit, and also just like sitting on his like shoulders and like his little neckline. Bertie is like fairly, like, he's again very short and not super slightly built, like but for an elf, but again, like, he's just been very, very done up, and his heels are quite high and pink, and yeah, he has an extremely long train of flowers sort of like down the back of his dress as well, sort of going out. But he is kind of like, despite all of this, he's kind of just wringing his hands just like with like this intense nervous energy, like just very twitchy, which Bertie kind of is like normally when he's not showboating, but he is in overdrive at the moment. And regardless of whether Anya is currently like classically sighted or not, she can tell us extremely easily. There's like a sensory overload happening right now.
So Anya, I think in this moment, she's standing near Bertie. I don't think he's noticed her yet, just with everything that's gone on, and also with the fact that she's quite naturally very quiet. But she sidles up next to him and just gently wraps an arm around his arm, and she leans down to him only slightly because he's wearing quite tall heels, and she just very gently says, "It's okay to be nervous." And when Bertie
He kind of like jumps a bit. Oh, Anya. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, no, can you do that? I don't know why. I've known you for years.
And when Bertie looks to her, she looks, and I don't think she told Bertie what she was going to wear. I think several times she asked Bertie different things about his outfit, but she didn't really tell Bertie. And I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like Bertie, knowing Anya, would assume that Anya would just wear what she's comfortable in anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's just like,
and wouldn't
look,
be
if
able to
she's
do
wearing
much
a
about
suit
it.
jacket, that's the best I can hope for. You know, if she's wearing shoes, great.
Yeah, so Bertie would probably be a little bit surprised to see, firstly, Anya's hair out, which he knows she doesn't really do in public. He would have seen her hair out before because they lived together, and he would have seen her preparing her hair and the different care that she puts into her hair when she's not just letting it run wild. But down and has been pinned to flow gently down her side, and pinned into it there are pink carnations with baby yellow roses, and I think some of the butterflies that are being paid to flutter around Bertie would take interest in some of the flowers and flit around her a little bit. She is wearing her contact lenses, so you can see that she is full-sighted for the day. And when you look at what she's wearing, while simple, it's very different from what you've really seen her in. So she's in almost an Anya-like faux pas. She is wearing a low-cut, flowy white blouse, white silken blouse with a brocaded pink vest that is open over the top of it. And it has a baby blue brocaded detailing, and the colours are very much carefully selected to match Bertie's spring type. And then she just has black, long, flowing pants. And she is, quite unfortunately, barefoot. You did not get her in shoes, but yeah, she leans to Bertie and she's like, "Sorry, I didn't, you look beautiful."
I mean, look who's talking. Man, Rook mustn't be able to keep her eyes off you. This is not what I was
Yes.
expecting.
Well, I wanted to match you.
Bertie looks genuinely touched, and he kind of like tilts his head to one side, and his ears sort of like tilt, sort of like down, but not like in a negative way. I really appreciate it. I mean, you would have looked great in anything. I just, I know that you like don't care as much about what other people think about you in the same way that I do, I guess. I mean, I know that you do, but like, we've come from pretty different circles, so you're the I can stab you if you don't like me kind of circles. Whereas I'm the, I gotta acquiesce. But, we've come pretty far from that. So I really appreciate it. You look great.
Thank you. I care about what you think, Bertie.
Well, I would have been happy with anything, but I am pretty excited to see this fit, I will be honest. And, the no shoes, that's a you thing, so that's fair. It's kind of a grounding thing, so I get it. So, no, you look great. Thank you again for agreeing to do this. I know it was maybe a bit of a surprise when I first asked you. But,
Bertie, it means more to me than thank you. You have nothing to thank me for. Thank you.
Well, look, I mean, it's not like my real parents would do anything, so it's not like I was gonna expect them to do anything. And then, it's been a bit difficult kind of reconnecting with my foster dads, considering it was kind of a awkward tavern situation. But
Bertie, I get it.
yeah, well,
You're
I just also thought you were the first friend I met. I mean, I met Newman was a pretty close second, but Newman's also the best man, so it's probably better if it would be weird. So, like, yeah. And you mean a lot to me.
You're my family too.
You get
And
it.
I'm proud of you. I am.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I am
And-
so proud of you.
Bertie looks a bit like flustered.
Caius might faint when he sees you. You know that, right?
Oh, I'm guaranteeing. Well, hopefully not exactly. Like, if he literally does, that's going to be a little bit awkward, and then we're going to have to go. Well, that's all right. I mean, look, we're both paladins, so like, you know, we can sort out the magic stuff. But like, yeah, I think he'll be pretty chuffed. I'm pretty excited to see him too. So you know, not safe for work or anything about that, but you know, I'm pretty excited to give him a smooch on the aisle. You know.
Well, if you faint,
Yeah.
I will carry you down the aisle, if need be.
Perfect. Well, it would not be very hard. I'm a little guy. And you have strangely muscular arms, which makes sense because the bow and all that. So yeah. No,
Are you ready?
Yeah, and he kind of like looks like a little like piece of paper that he's been like kind of checking a little bit as well. I can't pocket it. It's like, yeah, no. Boy. Yeah, no. This is the time, right? Yeah.
Is it yeah or no? It's genuinely important. Is it
Yeah,
yes or no?
I am ready.
Do I have to go create a distraction? Because I
don't
will be
have to.
very mad at you. Do you know how? No. It's your wedding day. You don't need to know. Newman is fine now. Everything is fine.
Oh no, oh boy, I'm gonna be hearing a lot about this later, I think. No, I think I'm ready.
It's all fine. No one is crying anymore. Maybe Sam. No one else is crying
boy.
anymore.
Oh no.
That's unrelated. Maybe.
We should probably
It's
get
fine.
out there. Yeah, no, you're right. Ugh.
Yes. So it's yes.
Yes. Okay.
No distraction.
Do I have any food on my face?
No, I think you're good.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Cool. All right. This'll be fine. Huh. Okay. They kind of like.
I'll
holds
be
his
with
hand
you the whole
out.
walk.
Yeah.
And Anya wraps her arm around his and gives it a squeeze. I'll always be here when you need me.
And as
Thank you.
And as the music strikes up, two of you head down the aisle, where you see Ross, Newman, and most importantly, Caius in front of Athena. As you walk down, you see the rows upon rows of friends, family, dignitaries, students have gathered here today. There's an empty seat towards the front on the Sylvia's side, with the portrait sitting on it. As you reach the front and turn around to face your husband, you catch out of the corner of your eyes that the portrait is one of Caius's father, former Lord Sylvius. Athena speaks up. Day, everyone. We are gathered here under the light of the loyal to bring together two who have been through so much together, mean so much to Erethold, to their friends, to their family, but most importantly, to themselves, to each other. Caius and Bertie, have you prepared your vows?
We have.
Yeah. Yes.
Caius.
Oh, I'm first. Okay. Caius will reach into his breast pocket and pull out a stack of cards, and his hands are kind of shaking a little bit as he looks at it and kind of hunches over and squints. Kind of looks at a couple and sort of reshuffles them, and almost to like sort of break the tension, he looks up at everyone and with, "Hi, everyone. My name is Caius Viator Sylvius. You can also call me Kai if you wish. When I first started writing these, I didn't really know what to say that I haven't already. That, and I also wasn't really sure what vows were. I mean, I took vows in military academy and took vows as a Knight of the Seven, but as much as I was happy during those times, those weren't celebrations. That was duty. This is love. I didn't know what to write, so I just wrote what vows meant to me, and very proudly read them out to Grace, who's in the audience. Say hello. When she came into my room to check on my progress, and she very quickly informed me that this was a very rough first draft, and she took the time to sit down with me and coach me through what I should say. And in the end, all my sisters sort of helped out a little bit, and each having their own hand in sort of crafting ideas of a wedding vow and what love means to us all. And it turns out it's a little different from what I had in mind. I mean, it turns out we were all wrong. Love is not something that can be easily explained. Love is a feeling, an energy, a weight lifted and shared. Love is joy, love is peace, love is comfort. Above all, love is balance. Where there is darkness, there can also be light. Where there is sadness, there is a shoulder to cry on. Love is different to everyone, and to me it is Bertie. Caius looks down at his cue cards, which he hasn't flicked yet, as if he's about to start reading from the top, kind of squints a little bit, and then just looks back up again and says, well, actually, when Maria and Vashti, who are also there, hello, they were helping me, they would ask me questions about Bertie, so that I could talk about how that made me feel, and they would just write it down, and we would go from there. Actually, one of the first questions that they asked was, when did I start first falling for Bertie? Which is very funny when you think about it, because the answer is technically when we first met. See, I was perfecting a spell, and they were practicing one for the first time, I assume, and I sort of fell on top of him through magic. So I guess you could say magic sort of brought us together. In a sense, I guess we've been falling for each other ever since. I fell into a lake for Bertie. We both fell onto a large slug for each other from a great height, and it's been happening for a while. And Caius, still not looking at the cue cards, turns to Bertie. But I think I fell the hardest when we were apart. And it's then that I fully realized who you were to me. You are my everything. My only wish is that I can be for you what you are to me. Vows! I should read the vows. And Caius will look down at the cards for the first time and start to look at them. Hello, my name is I've said that. Vows. Okay. Bertie.
Yes.
On this day, and all days henceforth, I vow to love, protect, care for, and cherish every part of you. I vow to lift you up when you are feeling down, to be your light when you are surrounded by darkness, and I vow to wake up every morning with the smile of a man who has it all. Finally, I vow to be all that I can be for all of you, and Caius will turn back to the audience in one particular seat, and that means for Bianca as well, if they will have me. Right, well, that's all I have. Thank you. Caius will kind of back away.
Wonderful words, Caius. Bertie.
Bertie's just looking extremely, his eyes are extremely shiny and almost like a little anime style. Hang on. Really nice, really good. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. And Bertie pulls out this little scroll, which then like unrolls to like it like rolls out comically long into this like really long scroll, and it kind of like looks over like, and then it just crumbles it and throws it to the side. Like, Caius, amazing as always. I, as one of the people that sort of talks the most in for all of Durham, I would have to say I am almost at a loss for words almost every time I get to see your face. And now your words have done the same to me. So I've spent a year trying to write my vows. I've been almost thinking about them for longer than that, I guess, ever since you proposed to me in that cafe. After all of our, well, I'd say that after all our event is finished. That's just the big ones. We've done a lot of night stuff since then. But man, this is why I wrote it down. I guess I was trying to find the perfect way to say it, because I've never done this before, and well, the way that of course I have, I wanted this to be right, and you've done so much organizing, you've made so much of my life so much better. I guess I wanted this to be perfect, and I guess, well, first of all, the vow stuff, I guess what I want to say is, I love you, not only for who you are, but for who we are together. I'm a better person with you. I feel like a happier person with you. You look over the sort of messy, weaker things that you can't help but see, but you don't mention it anyway. You've known so much of my life that has been unpleasant, or a little bit dodgy, or a little bit financially unstable, but you don't mention it. You just accept me as I am. I guess I thank you for you seeing those dark, unpleasant things and helping me draw out the light from them. Just sort of take them and turn them into something that I don't feel so bad about, that is something we can share together instead. I've said this before, but you've always been my home. You're the sun that's helped me grow out of the shade. My impossible man who fell out of the sky and one part of a whole. And no matter the challenges that might come our way, I promise to always be there for you, to love you loyally and fiercely as long as I live, and even much further than that. I had a lot more stuff that I wanted to say, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. Years ago, when you first proposed to me, you said forever, and to that I say always. So I guess on this next part of our journey together, Caius, and he holds his hand out, do you trust me?
Forever.
But he does sound like a sort of ugly crying. But, and he's like, well, can we do it? Is that sorted now? Ufina, can we?
Ross and Newman, do we have the rings?
Oh yeah, that.
We do, yeah.
Ross.
We definitely do.
Can you hand them to Bertie and Caius?
Ross holds out the little velvet cushion with the ring on it to Bertie.
And Newman does the same to Caius.
As the rings are held out, Ufina takes some powdered silver and sprinkles it over the rings. You may take the rings and exchange them, and I assume the two of you do so.
We do, yes.
Very sweatily on Bertie's behalf.
Both of our behalves.
Ufina sprinkles the remainder of the silver dust upon the two of you. It says, so by the divine rights of the first gods passed down through them and the loyal, I pronounce the two of you married. You may now kiss each other, if so desired, and...
But he kind of like tackles.
We desire.
Everyone, please rise for the departure of the grooms and the wedding party. Everyone stands up out of their seats, and you forward through to wherever you may be in the meantime, before the ahead of the reception. Just before the reception, Bertie, a pair of familiar figures, much more nonchalantly than the situation calls for. Two figures that you recognize whole, like Your biological parents, the 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, Theodore and Emily.
Are they wearing clothes?
Yes.
Good, that's a good
Yes.
start. The Bertie kind of just like freezes and his ears kind of prick out as he sees his biological parents were both full-blooded 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. And one of them, the more masculine one, is like sort of like in green tones, with like lots of like green leaves everywhere for hair. And the more feminine one is like completely pink skin, long flowing pink hair, and wearing some clothes, thankfully, as they have not normally done in the past. Because they're Fae, they live in the Feywild. And Baker just like stops and just freezes.
Wonderful ceremony. Yes,
Oh!
I suppose congratulations are in order.
Man, Pa, you came? You watched all of that?
Well, we couldn't turn down a party.
Oh, oh, of course. Yeah, no. Wow. Well, I am honored. Cool. Yeah. Well, it's a pretty good party, isn't it?
Yes, looking forward to the reception.
Yeah. No. Of course. Yeah. No. Well, everyone's welcome at the reception, of course. Yeah. Cool. Well, great to see you. Happy, this must be the first time you come out of the Feywild since, well, for a long time, I guess.
It has been a while, yes.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, it's like, just for starters, it's been about at least 5 or 6 or 7 years since we've seen each other face to face before, so,
Yes.
cool.
Congratulations to you and your wonderful group.
Yeah, he's really great, actually. Look, yeah, awesome. Enjoy the reception. I've got to go and find him, actually. Wonderful to see you, Man, Pa, Theodore and Emily. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Try to talk to my friends too much. Bye. He kind of like lifts the skirt and kind of hurries off.
I think speaking of everything of Rook seeing this happen, and she's currently like cropping up Sam, who is like sobbing heavily, but like otherwise she's gonna like get on the standing stone earring to Anya and just be like, Bertie's biological parents, they weren't invited, were they? I don't think they were on the guest list.
Were they sent an invite? Eddie, I'm curious. Anya would know, I'm assuming.
I don't think they would have been. But that said, like, there's been a lot of dignitaries who have probably also come along as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think at that there's this moment where whoever is around Anya sees her like freeze for a second and then swivel around and just stare at where Bertie's parents are, and then there's a moment and then she is with Bertie's parents.
Hello there. I do not believe I've had the pleasure.
Theodore and
What side?
Emily, Bertie's parents.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Bertie's parents weren't invited, so you can't be them. Can I see your invitation? Any form of identification, proof of relation?
Yeah. While you're looking for that, maybe we can have this chat outside. Don't want to disturb all the guests.
Yeah, they are unable to produce any form of invitation. I assure you, we are Bertie's parents.
Okay, but I'm sure you've heard from all of the pressers and in the magazines and through the different sending subscription services. This is an exclusive event, and while you may be Bertie's parents, it is friends and family only. So I will have to ask you to leave.
And are we not family?
No.
And they head off in a bit of a harumph.
Thank you for letting me know. I will make sure the staffers do not let them back in. You
Excellent.
overheard how is Bertie?
As a side note, Rook is kind of like tapping her fingers together with little produced flames on them, and then she just kind of slaps that shut, and she's like, he seems alright. Didn't notice Annie. Didn't seem too upset, mostly just shocked.
Right. They didn't speak to Bianca, did they?
No, they just got Bertie, and then I was right on him.
Good. They aren't allowed near her. Ever. Ever. Ever.
Absolutely.
Right. How are you doing, Sam? Are you okay?
Sam just very snottily inhales and cannot speak. Just noise.
I hear you're supposed to cry at weddings.
Right. Well, if you need anything, ask someone else.
So,
You take care now.
And she kind of pats him on the arm.